Okay, fine. So, a very good evening, one and all. So, today's session is on roadmap to research grant, funding agency, proposal writing, and reviewer expectations. So, we have a expert, Dr. Prakash Halami, sir, and other faculty member are also here. So, with the permission of Halami, sir, and Deshmukh, sir, shall we start the session now?
Yes,
Interaction session with the faculty members and all. So I
yes.
request to Prakash Alami sir, uh, please discuss about the research grant proposal as well as a funding agency, how to write the research paper and the interaction with the reviewers, sir. Please, sir.
Research proposal.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Now I am almost 32 years in CFTRI, and then definitely last 20, 25 years I am associated with one other funding agency. Of course, most of the time is as a applicant. So I had two projects funded from ICMR. One was both were from nutrition. One was on probiotics and another was from the epidemiology section on AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Similarly, I had two or three projects from DST. One was, of course, the first track scheme, then that was changed to, I think, ANRF or something like that way. You know, that was given for the same scientist, right? And of course, the DBT, which right now also we are working on one other projects on the DBT. Within a DBT, we have, which I am presently associated with BioE3. So BioE3 is the government of India's proposal on how we can actually utilize the biological resources. So our project task force actually is working on evaluate screening and recommending the project on functional food. Okay. Then of course I had a projects from the BIS, Bureau of Indian Standard. So that is also a funding agency, though they don't give much amount, but then yes, to some extent. Then few international project with the DST, and Dr. Renogra also had such projects with other foreign collaborators. Of course, we had one DST JSPS project with the Japanese organizations. And of course, our own organization CSIR, but then they don't give to the CSIR laboratories. Non-CSIR applicant they can submit. Okay. Then of course, those who are from the university set up the UGC startup grant. Even some state government also gives. Recently, I evaluated several projects of the Karnataka state government for the young scientist. So then we have the funding agency like um, this one Ministry of Food Processing Industries, right? And then few more others, Ministry of Environment, Forest, or ICR also gives. Different project depends on what is the theme, what is the area of research is required, And nowadays, most of these projects are being funded with reference, submission is with reference to the call for proposal. Okay. And then general format, if we see the title of the project, which has to be very concise, to the point. Then brief summary or the information, what you want to describe about this project. Then objective depends on number of years. So 2 years or 3 years. Now actually the recent call for proposal of DBT, they ask only 2 years duration, right? Then so when it is a 2 years, so you can have only a 2 or 3 objectives, not more than that. Then methodology, which is actually very much important component, how you are going to carry out this work, research work. Then the team composition, which is actually very important component now, DBT, DST also actually made mandatory that you have to have a co-PI from your institute, or especially if you are going to retire in the next 2 or 3 years, then co-PI is a mandatory. Project proposal with a collaboration actually are given some sort of importance, with other institute or other laboratory. Within this collaboration, I would actually refer here with the BIRAC. BIRAC projects are always in a collaboration with industries. And There usually they look more on the product development, scale-up studies, applications, industry relevance, all kind
The
of things.
screen is not visible.
All right. Basic research, of course, in the DBT, you will see the several for the infectious diseases, then the vaccine development, the stem cell research, if any emerging topic is there. Right now, call for proposal is there from ICM around anemia, right? So these are the overall structures from the agency. Of course, we are not eligible for applying the grant from UGC. So I am not much aware about the UGC, what type of the project they consider. DBT or DST, mostly the call for proposal with reference to the thematic area, some specific thematic area where your project should actually emphasize, or you should have a lead available on that project, which actually will form the basis of getting a grant, or your project gets shortlisted. Now, shortlisting usually procedure is with reference to that your proposal fit with the call for proposal or not. Then your objectives, your deliverables, more important actually in the project proposal. They are actually fulfilling the requirement. Then you are even the team composition. So always having some senior members who has a good publication record on that relevant area, in their expertise, because we will be submitting the complete profile also of all the co-investigators. That is also important component.
Sir, screen is not visible.
Now, there is no access the presentation, what I am telling about. This is a general explanation which I am giving. Of course, I had such a related to how to prepare project proposal also. But then this roundtable discussion is more a interactive one. So is it okay, Dr. Anand, what I was telling? We can go to the next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect. Yeah.
Then afterwards, I will talk, maybe though we do not have a collaboration with the NIH related funded projects, or CDC, Center for a Disease Control, or a project from the European Union also. But then some information actually I can give, or the project from the DAD, or the project from EMBL, European Molecular Biology Laboratories. Even they also give some project research grant, or IMBO fellowships type of project. Yeah, that's all from my side at this moment.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, sir. We have a Dr. Malini Basu, madam. Malini, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please discuss something about this research grant writing and proposal.
After Alami sir, I don't have much to say. Like he has pointed out, but actually, like for the state from the college level, because we are striving at the college, so it would be my suggestion, like if the members are here, to approach the state authority. I mean, especially the DBT. So and for agricultural based things, and for remote areas, and for socio-economic upliftment. Regarding this, there are better fundings, or like chances of funding is more. And what sir has said, like collaboration is an important, because depending on the laboratory facility, or like the areas covered, etc. So that definitely needs some senior persons, and collaborative lab that is working in that direction.
Yeah. Please, there are some two person, Hari and please unmute yourself. Mr. Hari, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Uh, yes, Prakash
Yes, sir,
sir.
with us also Dr. Renu madam is here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I will come
So
back
any
to
of the all
discussion to proposal writing afterwards. But now let us go to the other experts also.
Sure, sir.
And especially those who have the grant, especially from the UGC, what they have, some startup grant, something like that way,
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
And then some of the state government also, they have the science and technology unit or department, even they also give this some sort of startup grant. So that can be actually more useful for the youngsters here, right? Then some women's fellowships are there. That is actually nowadays very famous program. With the DBT, there are such a scheme that can actually be useful for some of this audience here. Yes.
एक्चुअली वुमेन्स फेलोशिप में वो ऐसा भी करते हैं कई बार कि इफ यू नो दे हैव गॉट अ ब्रेक इन सर्विस और समटाइम्स they have not worked for few years and then they start working. That is also there in DST. Hello? Hello?
Yes, madam, you are
Audible.
audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Audible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that type
Vidushi,
of
that is like Vidushi thing they work out, I think, women scientists.
that also can be applied.
Ah.
Even after 10 years also, there is another program in DST for women, as Prakash Alami was just now mentioning. There are many schemes only for women, if they have got some problem or something, and there is a break in work or something like that, they can apply. Yeah, kindly continue. I was just supplementing him.
Maybe we can go with the interactive session so that based on the necessity of the participant, the discussion can be made. Because if they are the new faculty members or the students, so what we are talking, everything may not be the relevant to them. Or if they are not the faculty members, right?
Yes. Shall we start with Dr. Manjusha?
Or they can
Dr.
take their own experience, that also is fine.
Yeah, that also we can do, sir. Dr. Manjusha? See from
Sorry, sir,
this
I
one-
was not able to unmute. Good evening, sir.
yes, good evening.
Yes, sir, my experience with projects has been mostly negative. So that's why I wanted to listen to this discussion to know actually, because often I don't know, because I would just share. Recently, it was a project that was submitted with multiple institution collaboration, with us having expertise in the area, and the reason for rejection was just not recommended. So at least a review from the side of the experts on what areas or what was the expectations, if that had been referred to, it would be nice for probably less experienced people in this area to know where we need to improve when we submit a next project proposal. So we, as far as I consider, that we did have publications to show our expertise in the field, but the response was, or it was just rejected with no plausible reasons. So how do we handle such rejections, sir? And or what could be the reason for such a rejection? Because I understand most of you are in the evaluation panels of such funded projects. So I just wanted to know how to improve or cover up the flaws next time when a project proposal is submitted.
If Prakash Alami and Tiwari ji permit me, I can supplement on this.
Definitely, madam, definitely.
So with my experience, actually, I have got number of almost some 10 funding projects also. And I have been a reviewer and an evaluator in more than 10 committees of DST and DBT. So with my experiences, what I can share here is, most of the times what evaluators are looking for, if the project proposal is below 20 lakhs, it is very easy to get funding. Whatever happens, sometimes, we are having very large amount of funds, we are putting it for what do you call that, instruments. So if that can be either combined with some other institution, I think that will be worthwhile, where it can be shared instead of they giving it only to one person and then it is not utilized little later. That is one very, very important point I would like to share here. Another thing is, it should go with the countries whatever they are aiming for. Like today, they are trying to aim for utilizing of the waste. See, it should be application oriented, not only basic. If we are having a lot of publications, as Madam Manjula was saying just now, you may be having publications, but what is the rate and is it application oriented? That is another thing which they are seeing. In any committee, first of all, it is seen that how it is going to be helpful to the country. And you can have interactive, I had number of international projects also, where we see how are the bilateral relationship are we improving. That is another thing. When you are writing a project, international project, you have to see how you're in a country to country, how the relations are improving. It is scientific also, along with science, how we are trying to connect. That is another very, very important point in my what experience I have seen. Yes. Yes, sir, you may continue.
Thank you
SCB is
so much.
also another funding agency where you can get a lot of funds.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Because at least for the next time, we can. So, ma'am, you would suggest that if we are asking for an equipment, it should be such that if there are collaborative agencies, it is shared, and rather than asking for too much of fund on equipments, we should try and minimize the equipment demand, right?
That is what
Because
I feel, yes. Initially,
okay.
because, I have been in so many committees from last almost 20, 25 years. I have been there in all the many committees. So this is what usually they see, and how you are emphasizing, the problems of the country. Are you solving any problem? If it is only basic science, it's little bit difficult. It is not that they do not give for basic sciences. They have another department for only basic sciences, which but should be application oriented.
Okay, ma'am. That was really a important advice, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving that the evaluator's perspective, because that is also
Yes,
important.
Yeah,
Sometimes that
actually
is. Thank you so much.
what happens now, large number funding agency also receives large number of projects. And
exactly.
that actually becomes quite difficult for the initial reviewer, because funding agency will ask her to judge the project in the scale of 10 to 1 to 10. And the project which score 5 and above, they only will be funded usually. Funded means shortlisted in the initial screening. And so there actually, of course, one is the total amount which you are asking. So if it is a routine R&D projects, not a infrastructure creation, facility creation, then we can't ask crores of rupees the instrument and all these things, right? So that is also one of the limitations. Similarly, the manpower also. If it is a very simple work, we can't ask each and every manpower also in the funding. Now, with reference to the work which we are proposing, so that should be actually very much focused based on what is the call for proposal, whether it is fitting with that thematic area or not, and to what extent background work is done. Now, sometimes actually a reviewer also misinterpret or misunderstand in judging. So that also sometimes happen to some extent. No, not that each and every paper which we send get accepted. A lot of rejection will be there, or sometimes even some low quality journal reject, but it can be published in a better journal also. Like that also it can happen. But whatever the basic requirement is there for your project proposal, the lead available, the composition of team, because always the senior person actually can make a lot of difference. Then what is the deliverable which we are going to give? How our methodology work plan is, So all these things are along with this, if some collaboration, if it is there, who has actually the better, no, already the research expertise. So that also matters. And of course, to some extent, the institute reputation also. Like some of these IITs or if it is for the IISc, definitely a little upper hand will be there due to one or other reasons. Not that some one or the screening members or the selection committee members will be from those institute, but no, if it is a basic research, so they will definitely have the upper hand, right? So they usually funding agency sees all these things. Once or twice, no rejection or getting a regret email, that is very common. But then still, if we have to really do the research and have the research grant, then preparing the project proposal the way which is actually required is very important. And then ensuring the objective, just like a PhD thesis, and then deliver work plan, the deliverable, the budget which we are giving, the methodology, whether it is used properly or not, the references which are needed, national literature, international references, all these things are prepared properly. All are the components of preparing a good project proposal. Any other member also can support on this aspect?
Gopal sir is there. Gopal sir is also there. Gopal sir.
सर मैं तो अभी जस्ट ज्वाइन किया, क्या क्या कवर हुआ मैं भूल गया था, मेरे घर में गेस्ट आ गए थे तो आई हैव नॉट लिसन कि क्या क्या डिस्कस हो चुका है.
Okay, I think after some discussion, Gopal sir, you may join regarding the research grant and all. Yes. So any other participant want to discuss regarding research grant proposal and all?
Hello.
Yes, Upasna ma'am.
Yes, sir. So earlier we had this power fellowship for women when it was SERP, DST SERP, just for women candidates, sir. But now after this ANRF and all, they have stopped it. So I just wanted to know, like, is there any such fellowship programs for or research grants for not fellowship research grant program for women? WISE is there, sir, but for WISE, you like it is an independent research, not affiliated to any university or institute. So
I think that WISE type program is now converted like a woman scientist, because now most of the DST's program, no projects, they have converted as ANRF, right?
yes, sir, ANRF.
Yes. So now, but otherwise, whatever the CV which we submitted to DST, the account login, login details which we created, it is the same even now also.
Same.
But
It
under
is same.
ANRF scheme, we will be submitting. So ANRF itself has several different programs. Just to add one more, now most of this actually funding agency are asking actually the pre-proposal. There is right now one call from I think Ministry of Environment, I believe, because we have submitted one such project on AMR, antimicrobial resistance. How mitigation of the surveillance and then mitigation of the AMR in the different environment setting. So there right now they ask us only the pre-proposal, some 4 or 5 pages with the objectives and work plan. And based on this pre-proposal, the next, if it is selected or if it is found suitable, then they will ask us to submit the full proposal. And then full proposal only will go for the evaluation purpose. So this is another procedure actually funding agency are operating now or following.
So Ministry of Environment has this rolling call, right, sir? Like throughout the year, I think.
Yes. Some other colleague they have submitted. I am just a member of that project. But right now the project which we submitted just yesterday is to ICMR on ICMR big grant, on anemia. So this is actually one call is there. So when we see such projects, definitely funding agency also expect what is the expertise of the companies. Then how the lead available is with them, right? And then of course,
Yeah, very true. Expertise is also very, very important point.
so though I am a microbiologist, I don't have much anything to do much with the anemia, but then we have actually from the nutrition, other colleague who actually worked on this nutritional related program. So she is there, and we are actually looking this tackling the malnutrition through the fermented food, millet fermentation or something where one can see more bioavailability of the stress element and all these things. So this is what actually we are looking for. We don't know what happens, but then submitting the project focused, because a year back when DBT called for this on the functional food, even my own project itself got rejected. Of course, that time I was not in the committee. Our committee got constituted in last October. And then, of course, now we have a very clear, straightforward the procedure also. So whoever are the PI, co-PI are the members in this project, they will not be a part of that evaluation process, right? So once upon a time, of course, there was no such a rule, but now those who are associated or their no any other colleagues, those who were part of those projects, then we usually funding agency itself, they actually tell them not to be a part during the discussion or during the evaluation process.
Now, this has been there, Prakash.
Yeah. So this is
No,
actually
this rule has been there, for many years.
exactly. So investigators should not blame that those who are in the committee, they are only getting the projects and other people they don't get the project. So that
Correct.
should not be the issue or the reason, for that.
But still, there is no much transparency in evaluation of project by national funding agency, what we have observed, because they don't give feedback to the applicant when they reject. So I have also raised this thing with Jitendra Singh ji. He's in DBT when he visited Gujarat.
Yeah, exactly. But this issue actually in our committee, we actually decided, me, chair and myself, co-chair, that all the investigator, those projects were rejected, give the reason. And even
Yes.
actually inform the DBT to write those points, what was the purpose or reason of rejecting those projects. Even such a summary also has been given. And then some of these projects which were actually narrowly missed, even we are going to encourage them that when the next call for proposal is there, they can submit for that. So this is what actually I could
That is good. Yes, then this is good. Otherwise, what happens in most of the national funding agency, just they reject and they have common sentence, technical reason or this. So they have common, and a common sentence for reply, we have not selected or we have not approved due to technical reason, due to this common sentence.
And
Correct.
when we discuss or inform the other the committee during this meeting, so they actually appreciated our efforts. But please,
Yes.
that
Then
will not
transparency should increase and then people will trust on that agency.
yes, exactly. That what was the
So,
reason of the rejection or where the lacuna was there. Even those points actually we asked the conveners or what they are the secretary, member secretary to note those points and then ensure that those are actually means no reaches to the investigator so that they don't go feel that bad from the when they
yes,
the decision in other words. All right. Yes.
that is good. Still, so many agency and so many task force, they have not adopted what you have
I know,
suggested.
yes. Even our other projects with the DBT, other task force, the committee has recommended and then it never came back.
Yes, sir. ये जो है हमने जितेंद्र सिंह आए थे GSBTM के मीटिंग में, है ना?
I think is the chairman is the BIRAC.
हाँ, बायरक के अभी बनेंगे, अभी 1-2 साल पहले आए थे वो, साइंटिस्ट ई है ना वो, उसका अभी बायो 3 के बाद, आफ्टर बायो 3 अनाउंसमेंट, है ना, for all these things. So we have raised key, at least you should convey. And sometimes when you will send mail now, they don't reply to your mail.
Yeah, that kind of issues are there.
Yes, yes.
Investigators, as that previous madam told, that we don't know what is the reason the projects are being getting rejected or not given proper information. So that actually is the issue. Once upon a time, even some of this funding agencies used to blame even the investigator also, that they just copy the projects or just go on submitting. But now actually, several funding agencies, they ask the plagiarism, the certificate, then some other declaration also.
Yes.
So that's also a very important issue. I think plagiarism certificate we have to include now. And then like in our institute, actually we have the internal reviewing, so that the project's proposal or these ideas do not get just duplicated and novelty is there. So these are actually few of the things are there in the practice, and yes.
Sir, in this time's PM ECRG call, if I'm not wrong, this IIT Gandhinagar, they got 9 fundings from the same PM ECRG. 9 people from IIT Gandhinagar only, if I'm not wrong, they received this PM ECRG. So like they are giving to one institute, they are giving up to 9 also at one time.
That is actually wrong, or then no committee actually should have such kind of actually. That funds or the government fund don't go.
No, sometimes what happens, sir, even IIT, JNU and these things, because they have more competent, you will see in a state university and private university, even professors have less profile than assistant professor, entry-level assistant professor who joined to IIT and NIT. They are very rigorous, Hana. Their profile is, Hana, 10 times more than sometimes in private and state university.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's why sometimes I don't know exactly, but sometimes people have this grudge. This institute have more funding and more things. But when you will match with some private university and some government university, so you will see they are BSc, MSc, PhD from same institution. In breeding is dominant, Hana? And they have very less research profile and other things. That is also one of the reason for getting one institute getting more and more project than the other universities.
Yes, to some extent it's possible. The problem challenges are there in this country.
Yes.
And funding agency little bit full push, that is also there going on. But then still, no, some places somehow the transparencies are there. Let us not talk with reference to the negative points. A little bit full push is there still.
Yes.
And, if we can get such opportunity to be in any committee, and if we can actually justify, see that if we also can reach and then see that some encouragement can be given to the new youngster researchers, the researcher from more the remote area, the new organizations, definitely that can be actually very good. And then especially with the DBT only, we have this twinning programs with the Northeast laboratory.
Yes, Drilling and Sitare.
So there also quite a good amount of grant is
So
being.
recently we had this for Northeast under DBT, we had this Himalayan bioresource
Exactly.
call.
Yes.
And you have the project in that?
Yes, I have submitted in collaboration with this Assam Agriculture University.
And then who is the other partner from this side?
No, we just are like from AAU and sir, my university only.
No, you represent which institute?
The Assam Royal Global University, sir.
Assam. So it is Northeast. Now you need the other.
Northeast. So that no, sir, mandatory was not there, sir. But if anyone from outside from Northeast region is applying there, then that person has to have one co-PI
partner. Yes.
Partner from Northeast.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. I think that was we submitted around January, sir, end of January. That one.
Very long time.
Yes, sir. It is still on the. I think internal. This.
What I have observed in PhD thesis and the dissertation, lack of this research gap. They don't mention actual research gap. And sometimes if they have very good question, then they don't have good material method to solve that gap. So number of things are increasing, but this gap is not well defined, है ना, research gap. Just they give कि इस खेत से इतना soil निकाल के हमने किया, उस खेत से उसने किया, इस plant से इसने किया, इस time. That's why sometimes in funding agency they reject or not approve. What we have is majority, we have observed this type of, है ना, means there is no defined research gap. What scientists or researchers they are trying to find, है ना, and then sometimes their questions are relevant gap. They have very good gap, but they don't mention the exact protocol or method to solve that, to find or fill that gap. So whenever we send the project, we must keep that whether this objective is relevant or not, and it's really you can say gap, research gap is real research gap or not. And then as sir has suggested that expertise to fulfill that. If you have mentioned some techniques, but you don't
Yes.
have prior knowledge to that techniques, then also funding agency will not run, or that task force will not consider you.
Okay, sir.
क्वेश्चन रिलेवेंट है कि अगर हम समुद्र किनारे गेहूं उपजा ले, गेहूं ऐसा ट्रांसजेनिक बनाए कि वहां ग्रो करे, but if we don't have expertise to create that transgenic, then that funding agency, if they will realize, they will not fund due to lack of expertise. Question is good, but we don't have expertise. That's why they sometimes don't approve. What I have observed. Am I right, sir? Prakash sir left. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, is definitely what you have told is the correct. Because that much evaluation process is there, is stringent. And then
Yes.
justification, but whatever if you have prepared the project and if it is not funded, don't discard somewhere. You can still improve that one and then look for the alternative funding agency.
Yes, yes.
It
And
is
we should improve that
exactly.
material method part, है ना?
Yes.
And we should associate if we don't have all expertise, but question is very relevant, है ना? Objective is very relevant. So we should and collaborate with other expert
Yes,
people.
you should not give it up, improve further. See, usually, very survey type of projects, screening characterization, optimization with the conventional methods. No, this kind of project usually funding agency don't take.
Yes.
Just identifying the culture, or the remuneration type of this thing, because there comes mostly the survey type of the studies. What funding agency says that these are actually the prerequisite required for any projects to be undertaken. So you have to have some a good convincing lead available. And from there actually one has to start. Then it is actually convincing to the funding agency also that this project has certain definite deliverable. Because now funding agency also wants to see how this output of this project will be actually useful as a form of a technology development. This is what actually in this BioE3 projects we are seeing. If it is a basic means the 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, the TRA level, technology readiness level. Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that it should be the project should be from the scratches. It is the basic work, your initial hypothesis. Then you are going to actually address some new issues and all. But if it is a technology oriented or the BIRAC project, so we always expect 4 to 8 TRA level, technology readiness level, where already your studies, the laboratory studies are already done, the molecule is characterized, the fermentation studies are done in a small scale. So now you will be looking for the larger scale and how the commercialization can be taken up. And then now actually DBT, especially in this BioE3, is looking for how this output of these projects will be actually useful directly to the country. So that is actually the theme. So if we submit a very preliminary project, which is not to the focus to the call for proposal, and nothing has started, investigator has expertise in something irrelevant area, if it has in the STEM cell also no use. Because Bio-E3 basically talks with reference to the existing bioresources, how you are going to handle to meet either the energy, disease prevention, or the requirement of these fine chemicals. This kind of approaches actually it is looking for. And that's why our project should be focused on that aspect. All right. Exactly.
And I would like to suggest one thing who wish to submit proposal for funding. So take critical review from your colleague where you think that there is no leakage of your idea and other thing. So take critical review, not yes sir type नहीं. जो critically आपको grill कर पाए आपके project को before sending to the funding agency, you take critical review from your colleague, trustworthy colleague. So
Exactly.
because you are sometimes biased towards your idea, Hannah, but that idea may be existing or similar idea. So you should take critical review from your friends or your senior or your boss somewhere, Hannah, before sending. So that वो question जो पूछेंगे, you will be ready to reply, or you can incorporate that material, method, or objective accordingly. Don't hesitate to take critical review, Hannah, feedback from your friends or known people before sending.
Yeah, that kind of internal reviewing is always useful, so that we knows that what is the strength of our project and if we are making any mistakes.
Yes, because we are biased, है ना, अपने idea के लिए we are biased कि हमारा ये idea बहुत अच्छा ये है.
We may
But
not like one colleague criticizing or commenting, but when it comes from the funding agency or when they don't send for even evaluation also, then actually becomes the problem. Because funding agency, some of the staff members will be there. They will be easily able to identify whether the project it fits in the call for proposal or not. And then if it is a not, then they will not consider even for the preliminary screening also.
yes.
In such cases,
So we have
highly
two
disappointing.
message in our chat box that Vanshika Agrawal, sir, how international lab as co-PI is added in the grant project. Vanshika Agrawal, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looks
And the
like Incar having the foreign author also in our publication. But then the work where they are going to do, because institute will not permit, no? Their organization has to agree. Because we always take the institutional certificate. So this is not the only the publication where the foreign authors is contributing in study or in a discussion or helping you to write or identifying the topic. But when it is a research proposal and then some amount of the grant will be given. So the basic requirement will be if it is a Indian citizen. So then or institute within the India. So their institutes will not be this one. What I can say will be able to participate. If they are only helping in preparing the proposal and research activities, then that is not the issue. But we give the institutional declaration, right? Institution declaration and what we have DSIR certificate, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, right? All the research institute
Zero.
have a DSIR certificate, which is found to be the property or the work of DGCSIR, right? Because DGCSIR is the secretary of DSIR also. And so, so the institute, those who has a DSIR certificate, they are only eligible for submitting a project proposal for obtaining the external grant or research grant. So that institute will not come under the DSIR certificate, right? I hope I answered this.
Yes.
Exactly.
सर
Okay, and the
एक्चुअली
second
हमारी
message.
लैब में एक डीएसटी का प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है जिसके अंदर जो पेरेंट लैब है वो जापान की है तो
हाँ
उसमें कोपीआई हम है तो फिर वो वाला चीज मुझे पूछना था कि वो कैसे लगता है
no,
कि
DST has some of the international collaborations, right?
वही मैं भी वो ऐड करना चाह रहा था. Yes.
So there, even DBT also has the international collaboration, but when it is only when it is not the international collaboration, then it is not possible. But if it is the international collaboration, you have a counterpart there, they submit, with their ministry, then you submit with your ministry. Like we also have with Indo-Japanese collaboration with the JSP, Japan Science Promotion Society, on the seaweed fermentation, and we successfully completed that project. Or we had actually one collaboration with the Italian Italian Ministry of External Affairs. They are actually this ministry with the DST. So we submit here the same project proposal, they submit there, and then that goes. So that is not the issue. Their funding they take care. Here funding our ministry takes care. So those are the international call for proposals are there. With the DBT also we have such call for proposals. You are
स्पार्क भी तो सर प्रोवाइड करते हैं ना जर्मनी के साथ में.
Yes, with the Germany also DFG projects are there. German Research Foundation. Then even INSA DFG projects are there, and all.
USA के साथ भी है, बहुत
Yes.
सारे कंट्री के
Yeah,
साथ है ना combined.
Yes. But not with the regular project where we can include their name and submit.
वंशिका, आपको वहां का कोलैबोरेटर खोजना पड़ेगा, आपके थीम पर कौन काम कर रहे हैं. देन यू हैव टू कम्युनिकेट विद दैट साइंटिस्ट वेदर दे विश टू कोलैबोरेट विथ यू और नॉट, और एक पार्टनर बनना चाह रहा है कि नहीं. मान लो जापान का, यूएसए का, जहां भी कोलैबोरेटिव प्रोजेक्ट आप करना चाह रहे हो, तो वहां कौन आपके थीम पर आपके आइडिया का सिमिलर कर रहा है. देन यू हैव टू कम्युनिकेट वेदर दे आर रेडी टू बिकम co-PI with your project or not. वंशिका,
No. They will be PI, co-PI from their part. Your team will be PI, co-PI, your part. But most
बट मेन तो एक ही होगा ना सर, जहां पर मैं पार्टनरशिप प्रोजेक्ट होता है, तो वहां वो रेडी हो रहे हैं कि नहीं इसके साथ कोलैबोरेट करने के लिए.
bilateral programs usually they will have both the equal team there also and here also.
यस, बट
So
थीम, प्रोजेक्ट का थीम वेदर
it match.
मैचिंग और नॉट, है ना.
जी सर.
Yes. So that is the one, and then most of this international collaboration they don't give much funding.
ओके सर.
A very limited funding will be there. So we have to be actually careful also with that because like we had one DST JSPS project, and then they said for the research work you have to have the internal funding. This is only for the tribal purpose, tribal and then hospitality. So we have to go there and stay a few days and then do nothing, and then making the paperwork itself 1 month, 2 months, and all this thing goes. And especially if in India means knows how many approvals we have to take. Perhaps for them they don't need much procedure, but in our case you go for a visa itself. You have to take the appointment, you have to fill the form, then you have to go and then you have to wait, and then several other procedures. By that time you can actually do some good work and publish a paper itself. And after coming back again, we have to submit the reports and many other procedures will be there to be followed. But if we get such international collaboration, it is actually good because the standard which they are working, the facility which they are handling, the science which they are actually doing, is definitely it matters a lot. And from that
पर
perspective,
उनको कन्विंस करना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है, या तो वहां से कोई मतलब पोस्ट डॉक वगैरह करके आओ, या फिर आपके गाइड के अच्छे
वही तो है ना,
मिलते हुए.
कन्विंस करना. कोलैबोरेटर मीन्स कोलैबोरेशन का हमने 2 मिनट का वीडियो बनाया वंशिका. कोलैबोरेशन मीन्स व्हाट दे विल गेट फ्रॉम यू,
yes.
and then you can say कि I have this expertise and you have this, so we can collaborate and we can get synergistic effect or synergistic outcome, है ना.
जी
यहाँ
सर.
हमको बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं कोलैबोरेट करेंगे, लेकिन क्या करेंगे कोलैबोरेट, क्या हमसे चाहिए वो नहीं क्लियर है ना, आप समझो. या
जी सर.
उनसे क्या मिलेगा, यू मस्ट कभी भी, दिस इज कॉम्प्लीमेंटेशन, है ना.
जी
कि
सर.
एक कोई बड़ा काम है, उसको कंप्लीट करने के लिए यू नीड देयर हेल्प एंड दे विल आल्सो गेट क्रेडिट विथ योर एक्सपर्टाइज. कोलैबोरेशन इज नॉट वन साइडेड कि आप उनको कन्विंस करेंगे. आप दिखाओगे कि हमने इतना तक काम किया है, ये एक्सपर्टाइज है, ये आइडिया है, and your expertise is required to complete this work, then they will be happy,
जी सर.
है ना सर.
Exactly. So if you are actually the topic brought to some logical conclusion and you want to do some additional work, much well identified, and then they are really the facilities are advanced instrument. So in such cases, definitely, no. And in addition to that, maybe some international exposure, interaction with them, So there it will be useful only. Each and everything has its own advantages and disadvantages also. As I told, we have to take it in a right perspective and then see how best we can actually utilize that opportunity. I hope Dr. Gopalji will agree with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. बहुत सारे हमारे GSBTM फंड crores of rupees every year है ना. Even outsiders, outside Gujarat can also apply, but they will get only out of 30% budget amount. So many people approached, but what is their idea, what they want from me, they are not clear. Collaboration is always है ना mutual. Something you give, something they will give, है ना, so that you have better outcome. जो अकेला नहीं हो सकता है, हम कब कोलैबोरेट करके करते, वो क्लियर होना चाहिए. Why scientists from Japan will collaborate with you? You must have clear things, है ना, कि हमारे पास ये है और उनके पास ये कुछ एक्सपर्टाइज है, जिसको मिला के हमारे पास जो रिजल्ट आएगा वो बेटर आएगा, आउटकम बेटर आएगा. ये होना चाहिए. एंड आपको पता होना चाहिए जिससे कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं उनके पास है ना क्या है रियली, या सिर्फ शो करने के लिए है और है नहीं, काम नहीं होगा. कभी कभी कॉपी पीआई बनते हैं, बाद में दोनों बहुत देर के लिए हट जाते हैं, बहुत दिन के लिए. दे डोंट है ना, दे डोंट सेटिस्फाई विथ ईच अदर. उसके बाद फिर कोलैबोरेट नहीं करते. ये सब सारा है ना. इंडिविजुअल और कोलैबोरेशन का फायदा भी है, घाटा भी है.
Okay, thank you so much, Gopal sir. Prakash sir.
Yeah, I think I have covered most of the point. Whether the
Hello.
DSIR certificate,
Hello.
very briefly.
Arvind
Hello.
Deshmukh sir.
Yes,
Deshmukh
sir.
sir.
Yes, I want to tell something.
Please, sir.
Actually, I was absent for discussion, but I'm sure I'm telling you some points which might not be covered. The one important point is that many teachers are under assumption that we do not have 12B or the affiliation to the UGC. Correct? In many colleges, the teachers are not regular teachers, and the department is a non-grantable department. College is not affiliated. So they are thinking that we will not get the grants for research. But I want to remove that wrong assumption. Even then you are eligible, only UGC do not give you grant. Otherwise DBT, PST, CSIR, then INSA, TIFR, then Agriculture Institutes, MOEF. Now, MOEF is now called as a DOE, Department of Earth Science. All these are giving grants. Although your department is a non-grantable or your college is not affiliated to the UGC 12B and something F it is called as a, or you are on non-grant basis, you must be approved by the university, maybe non-grant. Then you can claim, you can apply for such grants. That point I want to raise here. Okay, anyone want to make any comment?
बहुत सारे कॉलेज में सर DSIR का भी जीरो सर्टिफिकेट नहीं होते. दे डोंट अप्लाई, दे डोंट गेट. जीरो इज रिक्वायर्ड. DSIR certificate. Zero certificate is required for getting grant. DSIR का ही नाम अभी बदल गया, SIRO, zero. DSIR को ही अभी zero वो नाम डाल.
Yes.
That is required for getting funding.
But they are not applying. It doesn't mean that they are not getting.
Yes, yes, they are not miss that approval. Zero DSIR में apply करके they can get that zero certificate also.
Correct. Means the lacunae is toward the college, toward the teacher, not to the government.
Yes.
Like I have seen in many colleges, they are telling in front of principal, in front of management, sir, we are non-grant. Government do not give. They are deceiving their management. They don't want to do the research. Correct?
Yes, sometimes correct management को भी तो expert रखना चाहिए कि उसको सही सलाह दे. उनको यस सर वाले डीन डायरेक्टर चाहिए, है ना?
और डीन को भी मालूम नहीं रहता ये.
यस सर. इसलिए तो ये एक्सरसाइज, दैट एक्सरसाइज इज गुड. ये सब डिस्कशन होना, कोलैबोरेशन होना, ये सब बहुत जरूरी है.
हाँ,
दिस टाइप ऑफ डिस्कशन इज रिक्वायर्ड.
Correct. Or you can get at a time grants from DST, DBT separately. At a time you can apply for 2 projects. दूसरा एक assumption है कि अगर DBT मिल गई तो मैं DST को अप्लाई नहीं कर सकता. ये wrong assumption है.
सेम प्रोजेक्ट नहीं कर सकते साइमल्टेनियसली.
हाँ, सेम प्रोजेक्ट नहीं कर सकते ना. That is understood. No problem. But
otherwise people are handling multiple projects, different aspects.
Correct. And few teachers are always telling to their principal, sir, we are having one project, so I cannot apply again. It is wrong.
Multiple project can be handled.
Yes.
बहुत जगह तो सर मिनिमम फैसिलिटी भी नहीं होते कॉलेज में. उसके लिए भी कुछ अगर माइक्रोबायोलॉजी सोसाइटी कुछ कर पाए ग्रेजुअली, नॉट रैपिडली, या उसमें ग्रेजुअली समथिंग.
सर गोपाल जी सर.
जी सर.
जो I never like complain. That is my nature.
Yes.
The reason is that first we have to check the mentality of teacher.
Obviously, yes.
So whether our teacher is prepared for research, then we'll think all these points what you are telling.
अभी सर वही हमने डिस्कस किया कि रिसर्च गैप फाइंड करना, दैट इज $1 million जॉब. कि रिसर्च गैप कहाँ है, और उसके लिए बहुत पढ़ना पड़ेगा या उसमें डूबना पड़ेगा उस डोमेन में. देन वी कैन फाइंड कि कहाँ गैप है.
वेरी करेक्ट, वेरी ट्रू.
उसके लिए पूरा डूबना पड़ेगा, पूरा उसको पढ़ना पड़ेगा जिस डोमेन में भी इंक्लिनेशन है.
यस. ठीक है. ओके, थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, Deshmukh sir. Prakash sir.
Yes, sir. I think I have covered most of the point, and then Deshmukh sir also
Can we
has
conclude?
emphasized, so we can conclude. I just wanted to make one last point. Can you hear me, Anand?
Yes, you're audible, sir. Yes.
MBSI actually can make one more initiative to encourage this postgraduate department, how they can start the research work. Maybe for UG it is not needed because their work will be mostly a practical oriented, properly limited only for the practical purpose. But for a MSc postgraduate, they will have the dissertation work, and most of the colleges there will not be a facilities. So I think this is also another area.
Yeah, they have a 6-month dissertation project also. And I think accordingly in NEP also, sir.
Yes.
In NEP, if
So
1 year
through
MSc,
MBSI, we can actually give some sort of emphasize of this sector, and then see that some of this PG center, they through MBSI collaboration, they open the research laboratory. That is what actually I wanted to tell. With this from my side, that's all now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Deshmukh sir. Thank you so much, Renu Agarwal ma'am. Thank you so much, Prakash sir, for wonderful discussion about the roadmap to research grant. And thank you, Gopal sir, for giving such a wonderful inputs, everyone. So yes, today's session was really very good interaction with all the faculty members, all the research scientists, and other research scholars, those who are writing, or some faculty members, those who are having a problem in the research grant and all. So really, it was a fruitful discussion, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. So good night, all of you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Good
Good night. Good night, sir. You may leave.